How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to another video. So I'm not using my microphone. The microphone is just out of action for a little while because I'm using another phone to film myself with. My old phone broke, so this is my temporary phone. I'm going to be getting a new one soon that can have the same port as what the mic goes on. So sorry for the sound quality here, guys. Quick video. It's more so helping you guys select tarps, or other known as a basher. Okay, that's more of a military term there, I believe. I like to call them bashers if they are bashers. But tarps and shelters, you know, the fly sheets that go pretty much over you at night. Keeps you dry, keeps you protected from the sun. You can see right behind me I've got a basher set up. And that one I've had for a long time, for many years. I did a video not so long ago. I say not so long ago, it's probably now 2 or 3 years old, probably 2 years old, I think, of me repairing it. You know, the seam sealant had come off, and it had been on there for about 15 years based on temperature and dryness and that. And over the years of getting wet in the rain, it eventually came off, so I put some new seam sealant on it. So check out that video. I'll put a little link in the description for you guys so you can have a look at that if you're interested in that kind of thing. The one behind me is this one here, and it's an inexpensive tarp. Okay, it comes in this bag here. It is the Highlander Pro Force. Size wise, if I can see how big it is, it says it all on here. It's a 2 meter, so 2 meter tarp, so it's 2 meters in that direction. I'm getting bitten. Okay, and then width wise is 1.2 meters, or 1.2 meters. So it's a small one, great for an individual use. Okay, it's got that DPM camouflage on there, so it's designed for the military. It's a very lightweight tarp, this one, guys. This is not the military issued one by all means. It weighs 500 grams, so that's very lightweight, made from a ripstop material. I really favour this tarp. It was one of my first ones. I say first one, one of my earlier ones. It's not my first, but one of my early tarps, and my wife bought that for me back in 2000 and I want to say 2007, 2008, so some time ago, and I've been using it and I've abused it. It's lasted for many years. It's inexpensive. You can pick up that tarp in plain green if you wanted to as well. It's been all over. That same tarp I took to the jungle. It had a little hole that got bouldered from the fire, and I've repaired that hole. It's had a few repairs on it. It's got these stud buttons on there as well, so you can attach two together. So I do have a second one, so I could attach this one to that one quite comfortably. This is my more recent one, more earlier one. Why did I get two? Because somebody gave it to me. Okay, so somebody, an old person who's no longer camping, gave me their tarp. They just bought it. They had it out once for shelter in the sun, and that was it. So it was brand new. So someone gave me this one, and it was the exact same one, the Highlander military basher. Okay, so have a look about this one here, guys, because I really like it. Now this is it uncompressed, because normally when I pack it up, it compresses down to like really small, and it's very lightweight. I normally keep my lines on there. I'd say it's equivalent to the hooch, do you know, the Australian hooch, but different material. But if you want something as close as possible, this is it here. Okay, so this basher is a good starting point. Great for sticking a hammock in. I've had a DD hammock underneath there, fine, and never got wet. I've done a lot of ground dwelling and stealth camping. So when I was living in England, so I'm in Scotland now. When I was living in England, you need permission to camp. So sometimes, and don't tell anybody, I would go off into the woods and, like, you know, country parks and what have not, and I would camp and have a little camping session on my own. Sometimes I'd take friends, but we would always leave no trace, and it was always respectful, and that's what we called stealth camping. We didn't want to get caught. And sometimes I used to have that basher on the ground. I can set it up as lean-to. I can have an A-frame just like it is now. There's loads of configurations, and that's a good beginner's one. Price range, I'm not sure how much they go nowadays. I think back in the days they were around £25, but I think you can pick one up for anything from £18 and this is brand new, so around £25. Okay, have a look around, shop about. It's not the issued one by all means, however I think it's better. Now some people who's got the issued ones are going to be so biased that they're going to attack me for that. And what makes me think it's better? Well, I've got an issued one here. Okay, so this is another military surplus. This is the issued one. Not saying better in quality, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying better for practicality. Get my words out today. Because it's so light and it compresses down really small, you can really fold this thing small. If I show you on here, okay, because this is really loose at the moment, yeah, you can, if you wanted to, and I mean I keep all my lines and everything on there. If you wanted to, you can compress this really small, okay, and you can have the lines wrapping around it as well. I normally have it smaller than that, okay. What I'll do is when I pack this one up, I'll show you at the end of the video how small it will be in my hands, so you get an idea, okay. But yeah, it's an excellent basher or tarp, if you want to call it that. Fly sheet, there are lots of little names for them, whatever you want to call it. Shelter, okay, let's call it shelter. Now I think it's better for practicality because it's lightweight, it can pack small, and it's perfect for the civilian who's practicing bushcraft or going into the woods or want to stay stealth. Perfect for them. If we were to look at robustness and comparing it to the military issued one, which is this one here, what I'll do is I'll show a little clip up here of this just being expanded across a ridge line. I won't set it all up, I'll just expand it and just show you what that looks like there on a little clip, okay. Because this is heavy. That's the gripe that people have with this. It's really good quality and really robust. If I was to say, if you were to put them up in a fight, this wins, okay, because it is heavy. It is better quality, there's no doubt about it, but it's not necessarily better for practicality. You can see I've got the darker DPM here. It's very hard to fold up because the material is not that ripstop, it's something else, and it's quite slippy. So when you're trying to roll it up, it's like, oh, it's really difficult. A lot of people just stuff them, okay? And it weighs about 900 grams, so nearly a kilogram. So it is a lot of weight in the tarp. And you can see there, it's solid and good robustness there, you know, and you get these little loops and eye-rings on there, just like on everything, eyelets. It's got a webbing that goes down the centre. Now some people don't know this, the centre webbing doesn't go on the outside, it goes on the inside. The outside bit is the rubber bit because that's the waterproof part. And I've seen people setting it up this way and this has got saturated in water and it becomes even heavier. Now do it the other way. The reason why that webbing's there is because you've got these handles on there, and when you double it up, okay, it can be used as a stretcher. So you've got to bear in mind, the British Army, or the issued one, was designed for soldiers, and they had to have that weight and they had to have the versatility in it to be a stretcher, a shelter, you know, a water catcher, because that's the material that catches that water. What I don't like about this tarp is when you're trying to set it up, it doesn't get the tension right. You know, this is an old one now, it's losing its tension, it's getting a bit sag. To be fair, I could have set it up a bit better than that, but it has a lot of sag going on, so you need to pull it from the center as well to get that tension. And it's great for quick, you know, setup and quick deploy. Fantastic. And it is a real robust one. I don't tend to use this one these days in my outdoor life. However, it does live in my car in the backpack in case I do need one, or if I find myself with my pants down and I need to quickly set up a camp, I've got one. So keeping it as a backup. Sometimes if I'm sharing my gear with somebody, so let's say I have a visitor and they want to go camping, they haven't got any equipment, I'll give them something like this one. I'll say, yeah, there's a tarp for you, and give them that stuff, you know, and I've got gear to lend out, so to say. So that's where this comes in. It's a huge tarp. It's approximately the same size, I would say. Let's have a little look here. I'm just going to put that there. Yeah, it's about 2 meters by 1.2, I think it is. So 2 meters by 1.2. So it's about the same size as the Highlander Basha, maybe a little bit wider, okay, but a lot heavier, that's for sure. So it's a big tarp, as you can see there, okay. A lot of people have done, I've seen this recently on videos, the stretcher, the carry handles for into making a stretcher, because if you double it up, you can create a stretcher from it. Okay, people have cut them away. Okay, and what they've done is saved themselves an extra 100 grams or so. There was a chap he's done that. I think it was about 100 grams. So this went from 900 grams to 800 to be rounded, and that did cut down the weight, but also the bulk, because when you pack it up, as you saw, it was quite bulky. This is a great option, guys, because you can purchase these. Look, you can pay on a good condition one £25 or so, what have not, maybe even £30, but you can pick up these in car boot sales. I've seen these selling at car boot sales for like £5, or surplus shops selling them for £8 and getting rid of old stock. Depends on the condition of them. Okay, and they come in different patterns. There's lots of different patterns. You don't have to settle for DPM. I'm not really a fan of the camo unless I'm stealthing. I don't mind it on my bashes, but generally I don't carry camo. But that one doesn't really get used as a choice because of the weight and bulk. That's all it is. It's not to say that is better than that when it comes to use. They both work the same. They both keep you dry. It's more so that's stronger quality, where that one is lighter and great for journeying. Okay, that's why I say it's probably a better option. Okay. Other options that you guys might want to be looking at if you want to buy a Basha or a tarp. This is DD Tarps. This is a well-known brand here in the UK especially, and it's now worldwide. This is the 3x3 size, so this is a lot larger. We're looking at 3 meters by 3 meters. If I can, I'll put a little clip here of me just showing you how big that looks. I might just stretch it out onto the field for you, just to show you the size of that. I'm not going to set it up because you get how to set them up. There's loads of different ways to set them up. But this is the 3x3. It's made from polyester with PU coating. Okay, so 190T polyester with PU coating. It has 19 attachment points on there. It weighs 650 grams. Now, when you think about that for a minute, there's the tarp, the military issued one. I said that was 900 grams, and it's about 2 meters by 1.2. This is 3 meters by 3 meters. You get much more tarp, much more surface area, much more shelter, much more coverage, so to say, but you're getting 650 grams, so it's a lot lighter. Okay, that's 900 grams in there. If you take the handles off it, yeah, you can bring it down, but it's still heavier than this. Hence is why I was saying, although it's strong and robust, the British military Basha, the issued one, it's not necessarily the best option. It's good for a beginner because they're cheap and they're inexpensive. They'll last you a lifetime. Some people have them and then that's that, and they're happy with that. But when you're traveling and you're journeying and weight matters, then that wouldn't be my option. I'd either grab my DD, or better yet, I'll grab my Highlander. Okay, why I would say that I would grab that for especially backpacking, because it's only 500 grams. Do you know what I mean? It's very light and it packs up very, very small. So I'd always opt out for that if it's just overnighter, stealth camping, quick and on the wing. When I went to the jungle, that was the choice I made because it was small and light. Weight mattered because I needed to get it through the airport. Quite often though, if I'm camping in the woods, I'm not looking at stealth like. This is just a plain green one, olive green. This is my favourite one because it's got more coverage, and yeah, you got more of a camp setup, and you can actually set these up quite high and have a couple of people underneath, you know, just sitting underneath and use it as a shelter. So I do like this. There's other options there as well that you can get versatility as well with your shelter systems. This is a very old product. I'd say it probably weighs the same amount as the British issued Basha that you can get. It's probably around that same, nearly a kilo in weight, but it's versatile. Okay, this is it's not in the correct stuff sack. This is a stuff sack it came from, a military sleeping mat I once had that burst and died eventually. So I kept the stuff sack and I've put it in there. This one was another freebie for me. I got it for free. I bought something and someone just chucked this in for me as well. This is not actually classed as a Basha or a tarp. This is a poncho. Okay, however, very good poncho, very, very versatile. This is the 58 pattern poncho, so this is quite historical. Quite often you see these in poncho rolls, so there's like this canvas rolls and it rolls up, and I had that with it, but I never used it, so I moved it on. I wanted the poncho to stay as it was. It's a green poncho, okay, so olive green, and it is just that. It is a poncho that you wear, okay, it's a poncho that you wear. Quite decent size. Now it's smaller in size than the Highlander Basha and the military issued. I'd say it's about 800 grams if I was to weigh it. I'm guessing that, guys, so don't hold me to it. But yeah, it's the 58 pattern poncho. There's nothing much to say about it. Now, why am I bringing it into shelter? Because it has eyelets and it has all these stud buttons that you can put two or more together, so you can connect them together. It's got that material. It's been coated in waterproof, very similar to the British issued, but it's not. You can hear that, so it's not 100% poncho. This probably needs re-waterproofing. This is an old poncho, like I say, 1958 probably. But it can be set up. So let's put this out, and I'll put another clip on so you can see it laid out on the grass. Actually, all the things I do will be laid out on the grass for you. Okay. It is rectangular, so you can see that there. The buttons can also button down the side, so you can make it into like a coat. So it can go over your head. So you see there's the head opening, okay? And then you can open it up and you can set it up like a basher, like a tarp. And then all people do is take the cordage here, so quite often bring it round and then bring that round there, or even get paracord and tie it off really tight, and that keeps it waterproof. Good thing about doing that is you can have that on the inside, so you can turn it inside out and do that, and then if it rains you can then collect water like a tap. So a lot of people use it like a tapping system, you know? But the rest of it is a shelter. The way they've done the hood, it doesn't compromise the shape of it. It's all just a circle in the tarp with a hood put on it. That's all they've done there. So if you also do that there, the rest of it would lay out and it will still be even. So that's an option there, having a poncho. I don't choose this for backpacking or hiking or anything like that, but if I do go on the hills, or if I do go on a day trip or a mountain or something like that, quite often this is in my bag, okay, especially in dodgy weather. I'm not planning to camp, but things can go wrong in those sort of environments. So if you are going on a hill, or a big hill as well, in maybe the winter time, and you find yourself, you know, caught with your pants down a little bit, and you think, oh geez, yeah, it's raining now, then having this is good, because you can put it on, keep yourself dry. It goes over your rucksack as well. You know, you see them in Vietnam movies and World War II movies and stuff like that, where they've got their poncho, not necessarily this one, but it goes over their rucksacks. It keeps all their gear dry. Try to get yourself out of Dodge using this. If you found yourself stuck there, then you can use your walking poles and set up a little shelter, okay, using this. And then try to insulate yourself somehow, have a little fire or something like that. So this is a good bit of gear to carry in your day pack. It packs up pretty well, and you know, it can be classed as a survival gear too. So that's what this is really. But they're my shelters. That's what I've got. You know, I don't have every tarp and basher under the sun. Just making sure I haven't got any ticks. What I do have though is what I've been using for years. The Highlander Basher I've been using for a long time. It's generally my first choice for quick trips, and my DD tarp is my other one. So if I'm on the canoe, or if I'm car camping, or even if I am just hiking into the woods to do bushcraft or go to bushcraft meets, okay, it's my DD tarp that comes with me there. So when weight's the key thing, Highlander Basher. When it's not, my DD 3x3 is my choice. My military issued one, that's a backup. That's my loan out tarp. That is my in my car if I need a tarp. Okay, that's just, yeah, a bit of extra spare gear. And then this is if I'm not planning to camp, I'm on the hills, I'm on the mountains. That is when I take my 58 pattern, just as an emergency backup, you know, just in case. That's all I have. I have that just in case. I didn't want to carry a shelter, but I needed to carry a shelter, and that's that there. So guys, let me know what you think of this. What sort of tarp are you carrying? What sort of Basha are you carrying? Have you got any ones I've got here? If not, what do you have? You know, there's loads of them on the market. There's, you know, hundreds and hundreds of them nowadays. What I'll say is to choose it, think about how much coverage you need. Ask yourself, is weight an issue? If it is, military issued one probably wouldn't be the one there, even though it's good quality and really robust. If weight's an issue, cut down the weight and get something lighter. How much coverage you need, and what is your budget? How much can you afford? And what is your style as well? That's important. You know, I like plain green. I like the poncho, and I really like my DD tarp because plain green. I don't tend to choose camo, but because of the cost and that, I don't mind it. I don't mind it on my tarp. I just don't wear it. You know what I mean? So it's fine. But if that's a factor, if a pattern matters to you, then think about that as well, because it might affect the cost. So then choose one that's in your budget. Okay, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Let me know what you think. Give me a thumbs up, like, and subscribe. I just want to point out, I'm not getting endorsed by any company here. This is just me sharing you what I'm carrying, because some of you guys want to know, and to help you select what's right for you. This has worked for me for years. My DD tarp and my Highlander Basha has worked with me for many, many years. I did use the issued one, but now, because I've got other options, it doesn't seem to get used as much. But I'll still use it quite happily, knowing it's trustworthy, that's for sure. Okay, guys, have an awesome day, enjoy the weather, and I'll see you in the next video soon. Have a good day, guys. Bye-bye.